to Weekly Devotional with Sparrow Podcast. This week's devotional is called Defining Fullness. Jesus worked a marvelous miracle when he fed the 4,000 men and the 5,000 men, along with their families, which is amazing to consider how much he really did feed. After Jesus fed the 5,000, 12 baskets of food were left over. This indicates that the multitude rejected the overflow that they should have taken home with them. The remaining fragments were good enough for the disciples to take home, but not good enough for the multitude to take home. The disciples knew the value of the miraculous and were not wasteful with what Jesus had done. The same goes for the Lord's presence in your life. You may be full of his presence, but will you let your momentary fullness define your communion with the Lord for the rest of the day? Don't let the crowd define what full means to you. Let the overflow of the Lord bring you into deeper places of fullness and abundance in him. Scripture readings begin in John chapter 6, verse 1 through 15. After these things, Jesus went over the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias. And a great multitude followed him because they saw his miracles, which he did on them that were diseased. And Jesus went up into a mountain, and there he sat with his disciples, and the Passover, a feast of the Jews, was nigh. When Jesus then lifted up his eyes and saw a great company come unto him, he saith unto Philip, Whence shall we buy bread that these may eat? And this he said to prove him, for he himself knew that what he would do. Philip answered him, 200 pennyworth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one of them may take a little. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, saith unto him, There is a lad here, which hath 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes. But what are they amongst so many? And Jesus said, Make the men sit down. Now there was much grass in the place, so the men sat down in number about 5,000. And Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed to the disciples, and the disciples to them that were set down, and likewise of the fishes as much as they would. When they were filled, he said unto his disciples, Gather up the fragments that remain, that nothing be lost. Therefore they gathered them together and filled 12 baskets with the fragments of the 5 barley loaves, which remained over and above unto them that had eaten. And those men, when they had seen the miracle that Jesus did, said, This is of a truth that prophet that should come into the world. When Jesus therefore perceived that they would come and take him by force to make him a king, he departed again into a mountain himself alone. Psalm 68:19. Blessed be the Lord, who daily loadeth us with benefits, even the God of our salvation. Selah. Thank you for joining this weekly Devotional Spirit Up podcast on defining fullness. Be blessed and be a blessing.